hungry? Hungry as a gremlin? Here's gremlin cereal.
Gremlins, bite after bite. What a tasty way to satisfy a gremlin appetite.
Gremlins is a deliciously sweet, crunchy cereal that satisfies the hungry little gremlin that's in all of us.
Gremlins, bite after bite. What a tasty way to satisfy a gremlin appetite.
Gremlin cereal is part of this complete breakfast.
Gremlin, yum yum.
There's something special for your kids at Hardee's. With any sandwich, fries, and soft drink, get a Gremlin storybook and record for 99 cents or less plus tax. Collect all 5 of these read-along stories about Gizmo and his friends.
It's here, Gremlin books. It's here, records too. 'Cause you love Gizmo and Gizmo loves you. Now it's Gremlins that are making America say, it's here, it's all here at Hardee's.
Is there a gremlin in your box? Kellogg's Rice Krispies, Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, and other Kellogg's cereals are fun to eat. And in each specially marked box, there's one gremlin sticker. You can collect Gizmo, Stripe, and more to make your great breakfast even more fun. Only from Kellogg's, the great tasting cereals that everybody loves.
It's fun to care for Gizmo, imagine he's your pet. It's fun to care for Gizmo and never getting wet. Never can make sure to keep him out of the light. And never feed him after midnight. Never. It's fun to care for Gizmo, he's a lovable pet.
I'll take care of you, Gizmo.
He's a lovable pet.
Good evening, everybody out there in YouTube land. Are you tubing? Oh, not that kind of tubing. I mean YouTubing. Welcome to another episode of the one, the only Midnight's Edge After Dark podcast. I don't know where Rob's at. That's why you don't hear no kazoo or words. Midnight's Edge After Dark. I can't do it quite as well as he can, but I can do my best anyway.
Well, you got to bounce around in your chair.
I was gonna try and find the other kazoo. I have no idea where it is under my desk of messy crap everywhere.
I'll be honest with you, I'm glad it doesn't have the kazoo. But welcome everybody. I'm sure Rob will be along shortly along with our other guests. But with us already, we have our resident physician for all your entertainment needs, Mr. Script Doctor. Or is it? I don't want to misgender you.
No, Mister's fine. Thanks for having me on. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing?
Welcome. And also with us, the one, the only YouTube harpy, Ms. Mega Random.
So all the Gremlin cereal made me remember I have 2 boxes of Baby Yoda cereal in the kitchen. And there's no prize in it. There's no toys.
Aww.
There's no little plastic figure. There's not even a trading card.
Nothing to choke on, huh?
What I found was funny in those commercials was the records commercial where it says the Gremlins are coming to save America. I'm like, did they watch the movie?
I know. Those are the best ironic commercials I've seen in a long time.
The Gremlins literally destroy a fucking town.
Right?
It's a horror film, and it's marketed to kids. I love it. I miss those days. The unabashed ambition of films of the 80s.
But as you can see there, the advertising definitely suffered from the ET syndrome. Even though they have Gizmo and the Gremlins, all of their pictures showing there, they still hid Gizmo quite a bit. It's like they just didn't want to show him, except for the cereal commercial, of course. But I think that came out a little while after the movie came out. Like that was one of the things I remember coming a little later in the game.
I'm sure they didn't even know. They probably didn't see the movie yet, to be honest.
To a point.
Look at all the toys that have to be ready to go. Like when the Star Wars movies come out, they like to have those toys ready to go. So they're like, oh, no spoilers, derp derp. So
I mean, if anything, I think you might be right. I think in a way, Gremlins was almost underutilized for how much merchandise they probably could have done. I mean, there was a lot, but there wasn't a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the doll.
I remember the Christmas hats that came out. Like all the Santa Claus hats with the gizmo on them. I remember those. They were all over the place.
I mean, I've actually seen a hell of a lot more merchandise in the last, 10 years or whatever. Because, I mean, they only had the little LJN rubber figures and the bendable stripe for the toys and a couple other random things here and there. Well, joining us now is Mr. Fanzine. How you doing, sir? First time on the channel, isn't it?
Yep, it is. I'm doing good. How you guys all doing?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you been doing in your YouTubing?
So. There's ups and downs.
I hear you. Now, I've been on your channel, right? Yes. I know we've been in a few different streams together. We've crossed over a few times, but this is the first time we've had you on. So why don't you tell the folks what you do on your channel?
On my channel, I basically, I do movie reviews, basically of the 80s. I'm just like a huge fan of the 80s, and I do movie reviews. I do like news stories that interest me and try to give the best content I can for my viewers.
All right. And there's a little crossover we got going on right now where we're both promoting the In Search of Darkness documentary. So we've crossed over a little bit in those.
Yes. And also I am promoting the Rise of the Synths documentary as well.
Oh, yes, I remember that one. Yeah, that's one I haven't really got much to check out on yet. But you also are a big Blu-ray and DVD fan, so I thought you'd be a perfect guest to have on today in this current topic we got for our top news story as soon as Rob ever decides to show up.
Physical media is always going to be best if you ever want to watch it again.
Definitely, 100%.
This is still a prop from, has anybody seen the new Craft?
I heard it's horrible.
I would never probably watch it at all.
I haven't even seen the first Craft. So.
Honestly, I'm with Script. I've never. It was, well, to be fair, when it came out, it was totally not. It wasn't made for me.
It's a chick. It was made directly for me, so I'm like, oh.
I've seen it.
Now, in retrospect, I could probably watch it now and really appreciate it, especially considering I'm sure it's a bit of a. I'm sure it's a throwback to its era for sure, especially considering the cast.
Yeah, well, the original Craft, I think still holds up, whereas the sequel, it is unintentionally hilarious. It is the wokest movie I've ever. They actually put a spell on a boy to make him woke. It is like an after-school special or one of those excuse me, one of those Christian sort of pure flicks movies. It's kind of like that, only with the woke stuff instead of the Jesus stuff.
Wow.
It was so bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
And I think you dropped a review on that, didn't you? Or you did a video on it anyway. I know that.
Oh yeah, I did a video on that. It was just hilarious. I had to watch it because I did enjoy the original quite a bit, and it's definitely a movie aimed at people like me. It's got all the 90s nostalgia, just so much where you don't want to go back and visit the 90s ever again, and they're ruining 90s nostalgia.
Ords board showed up before the
Ords.
Yo, just to let you know. Yo, dude, you're at Crystal Lake, man.
Yeah. I was like, I made a left turn, and I think I made the
fuck out of there.
For a guy with a hockey mask.
Oh, he'll be fine as long as he's not having any sex.
I mean, honestly, it looks kind of cozy here. I think
he looks like a Canadian who took a wrong turn somewhere.
You really do.
Hey there, I think I took a wrong turn there. Can somebody
Ralph tell you not to go there?
Can somebody point me in the right direction, please?
You're all You're doomed. You're all doomed,
guys. Like this is, I'm freaking out, guys. There's somebody coming, guys. I'll be right back.
Here, let me do this right. I had to turn the stereo on. Oh, Alex, Sarah? I think that's how you say it. Sent us a $4.99 super chat before we got started. Says, hence why I still go physical in addition to the current 90s properties that have been released. What do you think studios will bring back next? That's a great question. I think if it wasn't for the current situation we're in, we probably would have gotten a lot more horror revivals than we have already. Because, I mean, after Halloween, I thought it was almost kind of a given. I mean, we got Candyman coming, and a Child's Play series, which was already kind of in the works before that. But I have a feeling we're going to get maybe another shot at a Robert Englund Freddy movie. I'm sure they're going to get something going on with Jason. Because, what was
Fingers
that?
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Now he's back.
I knew that long hair was a wig.
Great. We got Jason Voorhees on the chat, and he can't speak because he's a mute character.
It's about like the time Arsenio Hall had Jason on.
Hey,
That was
guys.
great, though.
Yeah.
Hey,
I actually did a
there's-
reaction to that.
Guys, there was a kid with a stupid head that walked through here. Did you guys see him?
Yeah, he went to Canada.
Yeah, he smelled Canadian. All right, thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Jason. Guy looking thing. Wow. Adam Wolford sends in $5. Just imagine if this movie was made back in the 80s during the Satanic Panic and they were warning you witchcraft was to summon the devil. Yeah. Right? I'm sure there's plenty of movies that are like it in that period as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There's a Dungeons and Dragons movie that's like that, I think.
Yeah. Well, the Satanic Panic and the woke SJW crowd are the same people. It's like they've come so far full circle that they are the religious zealots now.
See, Jed TSD Toad says, watch Freddy be all political correct or woke.
Oh,
see, actually,
yeah,
I don't think he will be. Here's the thing.
Maybe the opposite.
Exactly, because I seen an interview with Robert Englund where they talked to him about, what it would be like to play Freddy again in modern day. And he was like, with the way things are now, he goes, Freddy would have just relish and be able to go after these kids who have, the trans kids and all these other things and stuff like that, and how he would use it against them and, their insecurities and all that kind of stuff. So and he even mentioned how, how in today's world, Freddy would even be more relevant to the, kind of zeitgeist of, just how people feel like victimized constantly or something to that effect. He really kind of got like the idea of, see, Robert Englund's not a real, I don't know if I could say, he may be more of a liberal or lefty in certain ways, but I don't know his political leanings because dude's pretty much keeps that kind of shit close to the chest. But what I do know about him is he's very educated. He's not like on any level like one of these like,
he's not a normal actor.
Yeah, he's very into his craft. He relishes doing like, like stage work and shit like that. He's that kind of an actor. He more so. So that's why when he steps into doing something like Freddy, he really embodied it because he knew what it took to make something like that. And he's one of those guys that really, really does like understand the role, I guess is a better way of putting it.
Yeah, and I did see where he said that one of his favorite kills was in Freddy's Dead when he kills the kid with the hearing aid, because he said that shows right there that Freddy doesn't care who you are or what you are. He's going to kill you. He's going to mess with you and kill you.
Not only
he's an
that,
indiscriminate serial killer.
Not only that, going back to what I said about that recent interview I saw, which was probably in the last couple of years here, it was done. He was flat out saying how he would basically use, kids' disabilities or kids' insecurities and stuff against them all the time. So that's where, in today's world with kids, he mentioned something about safe spaces too. What I meant, because he's like, these kids with their safe space, that's a perfect place for Freddy to invade. He's like, you can't be anywhere safe with Freddy. He's like,
or you get a safe space that closes in on him, or closes in on his victims and then crushes them. Like that's how he would do it.
Well, and he uses all that against them. That's the whole point of Freddy, is he's anti, everything good in life.
I think the thing with Freddy is it's not so much the killings that he does, it's what leads up to that, is what, like, almost to the point where you beg for death, because it is just sheer terror and chaos, and you that is more, you beg for death by the end of Freddy getting a hold of you, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, he don't scare you to death. He's going to get you with his claws. And I think he was bouncing off the whole idea of part 2 being the gay Nightmare on Elm Street. And he was talking about that. And that was the whole thing about how that movie was like kind of ahead of its time. And how the whole movie is just this whole thing about Freddy using the fact that this kid's gay against him through the whole movie kind of thing. Yeah.
Which makes totally more sense now.
Like Freddy embodies the whole idea of him being in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the whole point of it. And that's where the writer was coming from and the actor and stuff like that. But of course the director had no fucking clue, evidently. But,
neither did Bob Shea, really.
Yeah, Bob Shea, according to him, didn't either. Which I don't know. I guess I have to believe because the man said it and I don't know why he would lie now. Toxic Man Flu sent $5. Always wanted to ask this. Script was Canadian bacon inspiration for you?
Not in the way Michael Moore intended, because that's a movie that has some great comedic actors and barely any of them do anything really funny.
I remember that being a very lackluster film at best.
When Stephen Wright plays the most funniest character in a movie with John Candy and Rhea Perlman, it's like, what? Because Stephen Wright's funny, but it's like he's the only one that had a character that kind of transcended the rest of the film, and he was only in there for like a minute.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
he was the Mountie. They punched him across the face. He's like, "What can I do for you, sir?"
I don't know where the fuck Rob is, but I guess we're just going to get into the story then. I guess I'll have to read it. Amazon urges users don't actually own purchased Prime Video content. Now, we've brought this up many times. And why this continues to be a surprise for anybody is beyond me. But, this doesn't look like it's that long of an article, so I'll just read it real quick. The streamer says its terms of service are clear. What viewers are paying for is a limited license. When an Amazon Prime Video user buys content on the platform, they should really change that to rents. Content on the platform, what they're really paying for is limited license for on-demand viewing or over an indefinite period of time, and they're warned of that in this is why Rob's supposed to read this shit. Warned of that in the company's terms of use. That's the company's arguments for why a lawsuit over hypothetical future deletions of content should be dismissed. In April, Amanda Codell sued Amazon for unfair competition and false advertising. She claimed the company secretly reverses the rights to end consumers' access to content purchased through its Prime Video service. She filed her putative, I can't even read today, class action on behalf of herself and any California residents who purchased video content from the service from April 25th, 2016 to present. On Monday, Amazon filed a motion to dismiss her complaint, arguing that she lacks standing to sue because she hasn't been injured, and nothing that she's purchased 13 tiles on Prime since filing her complaint. Plaintiff claims that defendant's Amazon Prime service, which allows customers to purchase video content for streaming or download, misleads consumers because sometimes what video content might later become unavailable if a third-party rights holder revokes or modifies Amazon's license. Rights attorney David Birdman in the motion, which is posted below. The complaint points vaguely to online commentary about this alleged potential harm, but does not identify any Prime Video purchases unavailable to plaintiff herself. In fact, all of the video content that the plaintiff has ever purchased remains available. But now, this is not the case for other people. I've heard other people complain that they have had either their movies been taken down or a different version has been put up, and this is not just something that's only happening on Amazon, but I'm going to finish this up and then we'll discuss this. Further, Amazon argues Amazon argues the site's required user agreement explain that some content may later become unavailable. The most relevant agreement here, the Prime Video terms of use, is presented to the customer every time they buy digital content on Amazon Prime Video, writes Bert Biderman. These terms of blah, 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 blah. Fuck. We already know what it says. He's just trying to say the fine print already says that, and this case should be thrown out. Now, Fanzine, one of the main reasons I brought you here is because you, like me, are a huge physical
media
And then Rob's just getting hold of me. He's like, I can't find the link. I'm like, it's in Twitter.
Yes, I'm a huge physical media collector. I prefer a hard copy. I'm not so much against streaming or digital. I mean, I think it's fine, but I would much rather have, the Blu-ray, the DVD, and I even still collect VHS. That's how much of a physical media collector I am. Because
can I ask you one question? First of all, I want to say it's awesome finally actually like being on a full-on stream with you, since we've tried it before and it didn't work out. But
yeah, my internet messed up bad that night.
That's all right. But have you ever purchased one of those VHSs in like a vending machine? I know you see them around, right?
Yes, I've seen them around, and no, I actually have not purchased a VHS in one of the vending machines.
I was just curious.
And Peg Leg Pete says with $5 here, Amazon crime. There's a reason their logo has an orange phallic symbol about to nail.
Wow, my mind is
once you get past
officially
that
blown.
Z, it's going straight for the O in Amazon, right? So
Start the O face.
My mind is blown.
Yeah.
How dare you?
And Rob, about time you fucking get here. Jesus, man.
It's when you're doing that thing where you don't like it'll sit there and you won't see anybody respond.
Just hit refresh.
You're fired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
I already read this article, but yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Beth. Cosmo Q Space Lee there. You fire me every week.
No, but evidently Amazon is trying to get this case thrown out that I think we talked a little bit about it a couple weeks ago. But yeah, this is something I knew was going to come to a head at some point. Do I see Amazon getting anything out of this as far as like any trouble? I don't think so. But you were talking about your feelings on this first fanzine before Rob came in here. Did you have anything else to say as far as like your point of view as a physical media hound like myself?
I'm just, if you want digital, you want to buy it, that's fine by all means. But this shows you right here that what you're getting will not be yours and they can take it from you. With a physical media copy, it is yours and yours own. It can't be changed. It can't be edited and it can't be taken away from you. And it can't say, well, the fine print says you got to give this back to us.
But getting off the couch is like really hard.
Yeah, so there is one way that they can take that away from you, and that's if you try to say charge admission to watch that tape on the private property.
True.
That's
about it. Which not really. Nobody really does that anymore.
Well, and that's actually going to become a problem in the future when the stream. I see that becoming an issue. Remember, I brought that up before, where people might have like streaming parties if movies get to a point where you got to pay $60 to see the new Avengers, and you get a bunch of buddies together. How long do you think it'll be before Disney steps in and goes, "You can't be doing that," because they did it at the daycare.
Oh yeah, they're tapping into your cameras and everything.
They might expand that FBI law. Yeah.
But I don't feel like changing discs.
Okay, I get it. There is an argument to be made for the limitation of space. Trust me, I'm in a fucking house right now that is smaller than most apartments.
Yeah.
And most of my collection's in boxes. I get it. But go ahead.
Mine too.
Or it's I wanted to go to you next anyway. Or
no, that's cool. It's just like you guys said, I'm a huge fan of like the physical media. Like to use an example, a couple of examples, I guess. Like to me, it doesn't make sense. Like if a movie comes out, it's digitally available usually 2 weeks before the actual physical copy comes out. Well, okay, I buy the digital, I'm paying the same price for the movie, and all I'm getting is that file with the potential of losing that file in the future. If I wait just 2 extra weeks, it's not like I've seen the movie in the theaters. If I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray, I can wait. I've seen it. Not only would I get the digital copy inside that Blu-ray, I'm going to get the DVD and the Blu-ray copy. So for the same price of what I paid for just the digital copy. So financially, it doesn't make sense to me when we've got the family, we've got the DVD player in the van. So whatever movie we buy, if it comes with the DVD, we can do that. Because I don't typically use my DVDs inside the house unless it's something that isn't on Blu-ray. But and you look at the original Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, those cartridges, right? You couldn't update those. What you got was the experience you had, and I kind of feel that way about this more modern physical stuff. It's like no matter what, you have the base game. So even if they add all kinds of updates to it, you still have what the original intention of that game was, or the original launch of that game, which is kind of in a sense, I guess, preserving history. I guess some people would look at it that way, I think. But physical media all the way. I mean, I understand that some things are nice for digital. Like I'll buy some digital things on the PlayStation, especially if it's something that I don't really want to collect, but I really want to play. Or I will. I'll just wait the extra 2 weeks, go buy the physical, and have 3 different copies of it as opposed to the one.
Well, the one thing I miss was Voodoo for a while when they were owned by Walmart. I don't know now that they sold off that portion of it or how much Walmart still has invested in it, but it used to be to where you could do it was called disc to digital or whatever.
You can actually still do that.
Well, what it is where you actually, when a movie's coming out, I think it might just be because movies haven't been coming out. But it used to be like, okay, for instance, Bad Boys was the last one I remember doing this was in Sonic maybe, because those are like the last 2 major releases that I remember. And basically I paid for a disc version and I got the digital version early, and then they would send the disc to my house. And I loved that. I had no problems with that. What I do have a problem with is only having a digital version. Now, Mecca, I know you have a massive collection like myself, and I know you're somebody who may not watch a lot of stuff anymore, but it's still like, I feel like you're going to be like, you can pry my Monty Python on my cold, dead fucking hands.
Yeah. I don't like it when they change it. Like if it's something that I really, really have, this great attachment to, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have a version of it in my physical library because I don't trust what they're going to do when they censor them. Look what they do with like just Splash, for example. I don't trust that they're always going to be available. And I know from gaming, from being like I'm a PC gamer and I still will buy physical every chance I get because that library can just vanish. That service can go away. I use Steam quite a bit and, I hope nothing happens to it, but I'm kind of in the back of my mind. I know that if something happens to Steam, all those games are just gone.
Well, they've already removed a couple of like games from Steam, like Driver San Francisco is no longer available on Steam.
Yeah. That's a great example. Is a lot of game players know exactly what this is like, and not only could they remove that the movie, they can change which versions are available. And now I know you can download some of these, but like Voodoo, you can only play it through Voodoo even if you download it. So you still have to have the app. Now, what happens if these apps go out and you lose your ability to play those too? I mean, there are so many factors in this that I don't think anybody's taken into consideration, and these companies are like basically saying, "Fuck you! We already told you it's not yours." It's not even ours. So and that's where I think they need to change the terms of sale to rental or something, because that's just me. But Rob and then Script, I'm going to get your guys' takes on this too. So either or, go first. Don't matter to me.
Well, I'm a collector by nature, so I'm always going to go.
Send you a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. So I'm always going to lean toward physical copies of stuff, physical media. I mean, and for all the whining and complaining about, but I don't want all that clutter. I'm like, you're not some sort of pseudo minimalist, okay? With just like a lawn chair in the middle of the living room and a TV up on a milk crate.
Yeah, so these same people are also getting back into vinyl too, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
to be fair, I've lived that situation, not because I was a minimalist, but just because I was young and poor.
Exactly.
I actually started a vinyl collection.
Well, it's different because you're a media guy. Like, I've seen the same people who go, "Oh, I don't understand why I gotta have all these movies. I'll just do the digital." But then they'll go get into vinyl.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I have my copy of, and like you said, there are differences. I mean, they will edit out stuff and between the streaming and the physical copy. I mean, whether it's a line of dialogue here or a joke there. I mean, there are differences in a lot of things like Star Trek. And
they
recently. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I remember them doing that sort of thing, like from theatrical release to DVD, where they would actually pull scenes from the theatrical release and not put it on DVD and not say anything to anybody.
Well, one example I know specifically was the Bill Murray movie with the larger than life, the elephant. I don't know if it's this way on DVD or Blu-ray because I don't have it because it's not that great of a movie. But when they brought it out on video, they edited it down to PG from like PG-13 because they thought, oh, maybe we can get more kids. And I don't know why they did that, but they cut like a few minutes out of it or whatever. Yeah. And recently my buddy was watching, and you know this one, Mecca, Walk Like a Man with Howie Mandel on digital. And he's like, did they clip out the word homo? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't watched it. I'm like, I got the DVD. He's like, it sounds like it, dude. I'm like, I don't know. They might have. It probably wouldn't surprise me.
Season 1 of Johnny Quest, actually, they edited out. There was a scene where Ray Spannon is supposed to be the water god, and he's supposed to scare these villagers. And he said, "I'll be back, you heathen monkeys." And they edited out heathen monkeys for the home release. Yeah,
My copy still has it say that.
well, one version somewhere along the line, they may have put that line back in at some point. I don't know.
Miguel
No, I remember hearing it and laughing out loud. So I was like, I can't believe. Oh yeah, like
sends in $5. Walmart selling voodoo was an awful decision. See, I need you, Rob. I can't read today. Voodoo's UI is so much better than Amazon's, and it definitely kept Walmart committed to physical media. And I think that's why they got out of it, is because Walmart is getting out of physical media. They have, depending on your area, they have minimalized their Blu-ray and DVD section down to next to nothing.
Oh, it's abysmal.
Yes. I don't even shop there anymore because of it. They've shrank. It used to be like 4 aisles at my Walmart. Now it's down to 1. I don't even shop there anymore.
Every now and then you'll find a decent like $5 Blu-ray or something that you've been meaning to get, and I like that.
That's about the best bit. Yeah.
Yep, that's about, honestly, like I could go anywhere else and get that exact movie.
Well, even Best Buy's getting worse now too. And Script, now you are in Canada. I don't know how Amazon Prime works up there, if it works the same or what the situation's like. But I mean, one thing I used to do is sometimes import movies from Canada because they wouldn't be on print in U.S. So I know you guys actually, it seems like, have less issues getting a hold of stuff up there in most cases, but I could be wrong. What's your experience with all the physical side of this and how you view digital media?
Well, I mean, I think digital's great as like a backup option to the physical. Like I always like the idea, especially when Blu-ray started really picking up. When you bought the Blu-ray, it would come with a digital download code, and you could get a copy of it along with your physical media. And I always thought that was great because that's how I started building my own personal media server. So I have everything hooked up to a couple of hard drives to my Blu-ray player, and I can just scroll through and pick whatever I want. And I don't have to get up and change the disc. I can do marathons with my friends a lot easier. But in Canada, there's still a lot of rural areas. And even though the internet is accessible to all of them, there's still a lot of people of a certain age that don't like having to fiddle with the digital aspect of Amazon or any of these streaming services. So they still go to whatever stores are around that sell physical media, and they buy them in droves. And it's pretty much like that almost everywhere, as far as I know, especially in Ontario and in British Columbia, the 2 provinces I frequent most. And yeah, there's not really a big issue with it, except for the fact that, unfortunately, in Amazon Canada, there's a lot of product that doesn't, that Canada has that the U.S. doesn't have, and also that the U.S. has that Canada doesn't have. So I've had the fortune of being able to, whenever I'm in the States, I just activate my Amazon.com account and get my stuff mailed to wherever address I'm in at the time. And when I'm in Canada, I just get the stuff that's there. So I don't have to do any special import stuff. I just have to time my placement. But this past year with the COOF going on, I've had to do some of the imports, mostly for books, but not so much for movies and whatnot. I still have the local stores around here that do all the printings. And sometimes I also look over at the specialty shops like Arrow does. They'd also do some pressings of DVDs, and I frequent them as often as I can.
Oh yeah, I love Arrow and Shout and Kina Lorbo is another one, or Lorber, or however you say it, and Fanzine knows what I'm talking about. You just you just got the new. I saw you were talking about the new
The Last Starfighter.
Yeah, I just got that this week, and I got the Flintstones this week. I got a couple other ones this week. I mean, every week I buy just about every new movie almost. Well, not everyone, but
I just got Shivers and Little Monsters as well from Vestron Video.
Little Monsters, yeah, I got that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, there's some good boutique companies doing good shit. Yeah, go ahead, Script. My bad.
Well, I remember, I think it was 2007 or 2008 when they were trying to, because one of the concerns with physical media was that the packaging and the discs can take up some significant space. And I remember when they tried releasing the mini DVD and mini Blu-ray discs that looked like kind of 3.5-inch floppy discs to play on specialty players. and that kind of tanked because that entire option was to maintain the physical media but reduce the amount of space so that you can buy more movies. Because I do remember that being like an issue, a couple of articles in the local papers of film collectors saying like, yeah, my basement, my house, and my basement, my main floor, and my upstairs are all filled with DVDs and Blu-rays, and I have no space for my bed or anything of that nature because there's so much content and so much entertainment, but there's also not a whole lot of room to do that. And when digital came in, they're like, yeah, now you can have basically unlimited storage, and you don't have to sacrifice, actual space in your living area.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing I used digital for was when I got the digital copy on my physical media, I would trade it for a movie maybe I haven't seen or that I want to see if I want to own it. And then I'd get the digital copy of that. And then if I liked it, then I would buy the physical media.
Yeah. That's something I mean, I have never really, I've done it a couple times, but not very often, but that's something.
Yeah, it's just, I do it here and there. Just when there's something I really haven't seen or don't want to buy, I kind of just trade it.
Don't they even have now where like you can share like your Voodoo collection with a friend or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Like up to so many friends or something like that. So that's something to look into too. But here's the thing. Yeah, digital's great and it's convenient, but I'll tell you what, I can watch a movie and as good as Voodoo is, they probably have the best right now out there besides maybe Netflix as far as like video quality. It's still not as good as a 4K Blu-ray.
100%. 100%. That's true.
I mean, it's good and they got, it looks pretty good, but you can still see a lot of digital artifacting and some other business here and there. And the sound is not quite up to snuff yet. It's good. It's great, but it's not. I would still take the Blu-ray any day over that. It just doesn't look as good to me. But I'm rambling here about this part. But no, I mean, where do you guys see this kind of going in the future, though? Do you see this lawsuit actually going through? Do you see Amazon getting this thrown out? Script, let's start with you and we'll just go down the line.
I think the lawsuit will be thrown out because the current law right now, even the movies that we physically own, again, there's that FBI warning at the top that says that you technically don't really own this, and if you violate certain distribution aspects of this thing, you can be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I think that can be properly applied to a service like your streaming services, or in this case, Amazon, because Amazon doesn't own the movies that they're selling you or renting you; they're licensing them out. And if the studio or the entity that does own that movie decides to change the licensing terms, that will have a domino effect down to the customer level. So basically, a new law will have to be put into place where are you actually purchasing the film for the customer, or are you just doing a long-term rental, like a one-time rental fee for an indeterminate amount of time? And I think that's probably what's going to be brought up as a result of this case being dismissed.
I think that's where this person may have a case to hang on, is because they even say buy. Like, remember I was pointing that out?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they really should change that. And they even bring up that, no, it means you are renting it for an indiscriminate amount of time or whatever it was. It's like, well, then change it to that. Don't put the word buy, because when somebody sees the word buy, they assume they are owning it afterwards. At least that's the way where I'm coming from anyway.
Likewise, yeah, because that's how it falls under the rule of capitalism.
Yeah.
But you could also argue legally that if you're making a transaction and you're being advertised that it's a purchase and something that you will own, and the fine print says that it's not, then you are having then you have a conflict between what's advertised and what's the terms of service. And even if you haven't read the terms of service, if you agree to it, you're still bound by it. So there's that little thing there. I think you have to get the advertising in line with the terms of service for digital content in order for it to be ironclad, because right now you do have that ability to argue manipulation and false advertisement.
And no, it is not technically illegal to burn a copy and give it away. Just don't get caught selling a bunch of them. Then they will probably
unless you give enough away that it impedes the sales of the actual product.
Yeah, that's why I usually they don't really worry about that kind of stuff unless you're one of these big facilities that are doing a lot of bootlegging.
Or giving away massive quantities, like millions of units a week.
Yeah. But Mecca, how do you see this case going?
Yeah, they're gonna throw it out because you're right there in your terms of service, really. Like, oh, but you agreed to the terms of service of Amazon, which says that you don't own it. So,
Yeah. Fanzine?
Yeah, I believe they'll probably throw it out as well too. Like she said, like Script said, terms of service, they got you there by the shirt and curlies. So,
Sports.
I think it just depends on how much money this person who's going after them has. But I think ultimately, I agree with you guys. It's going to get thrown out. I mean, we're talking about Amazon here, man.
Right. Rob?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. No, I think y'all are right, except for that one little loophole. If that their lawyer is good enough to argue the point I just made, and if they can make that a sticking point.
And that's what I mean by, like, if you've got the money, you can find the lawyer who can do that.
Yeah, well, I just came up with that on my own. It's not rocket science. I mean, I get what they're saying, and yeah, it says certain things, but their terms of service are kind of contradicting each other. If you use the term buy, if the attorney pulls out a dictionary and says the term buy means to, trade services or goods for the ownership of another property or service or good, then
in perpetuity too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, in perpetuity. And then Amazon's going to have a hard time arguing that case. And in the end, it may turn out, everybody will get a free movie off of Amazon or something like that in a civil case kind of thing situation. But really, they'll just have to change their terms of service. That's all that'll happen.
But the thing is that you can also argue the same thing for books. Like, we own the books that you buy on Amazon. They can't say they can take them back, though, because they
have
send them to you unless it's a digital.
Well, the digital ones, I mean, they have done that already. That's where people have freaked out because, ironically or unironically, 1984 was pulled one time for a while due to some licensing issues, and people freaked out.
Yeah, so. Especially if you're in the middle of reading and you're like, wait, how does it end?
I think that's a good right?
And that's the brilliance of 1984, especially for that situation.
Dude, right in the middle of a book and it just shuts down. Oh, it's bad.
That's incredibly Orwellian. I mean, that's the brilliance of it.
I was going to say, and that's a great place to move on to the super chat and possibly our next we actually got a lot of stuff to cover, and I don't even know if we'll get to everything because Mecca is sending some stuff too in the chat. That some of it I did see, but
I think that
I don't know if we have time for it. But Action Com sends in $2. Will we ever get a 4K multi-disc carousel? No. We'll be lucky if they keep making. You know how hard it is to buy a 4K player now? You're better off buying an Xbox One.
Yeah, it took me forever to find a Sony 4K. It was ridiculous.
Oppo, I think, quit making them now, and some of that, you have a hard time finding a decent 4K player for cheap. Mark C sends in $10. The rationale behind physical media makes no sense. By that, thinking I technically don't own any of my comics because I don't own the artistic effort or IP inside.
Well, you own your.
Are you being sarcastic, or are you just like?
He's talking about the argument that Amazon's making, I think.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, yeah, because, I mean, he says physical media, though.
You know what was funny? You talk about you might as well just buy a PS5 or an Xbox or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people back when the PS3 came out, and they were complaining, "Oh, it's being used as a Trojan horse for Blu-ray." I said, "No, it's not." "Yes, it is." I said, "No, it's not." They're not hiding the fact that it has Blu-ray.
No, it was actually the other way around. The HD DVD side of it was actually a Trojan horse for digital.
Exactly. I said, Sony isn't, I would say the definition of the Trojan horse is that the army hid inside the horse, and then at night they sprang out and surprise, and they killed everybody. Nobody's getting the PS5, the PS3 at home and saying, "Oh my God, this thing has Blu-ray. I had no idea."
Yeah, they were tricking me all along. Mr. Wolverine 007 sends in $10. VHS, Betamax, Laserdisc, VCD, DVD, Blu-ray. These will always remain mine. Internet in my area has never been stable. There will always be people with skills to get what they want on physical. Yeah, well, that part's true. And then that also goes to the point, like Script was saying, and I brought up before about how streaming is not necessarily set up yet to even, handle a movie like an Avengers movie and not go to theaters because not everybody has access to it. And like another point brought up here, I can't remember which one you brought up. It may have been was it Fanzine or Ords, I think, or one of y'all was Script maybe even, who brought up, some people just don't understand how to use this stuff yet.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
my parents don't use it. My mom don't know how to use. I've tried to get her to try and use like Netflix. I'm like, Mom, I got Disney Plus. I don't watch it. You might as well watch it because I know you love this shit. She's like, I don't know how to use that crap. She's afraid to. She don't want to touch it.
I don't know how to use that crap half the time.
If
and I just would rather not.
If the industry wants to make a serious effort for us to go to digital, then you know what? Pony up to wire the whole country for broadband, for fiber optic broadband.
Well, and that's where Andre think is stupid, is he's like, he doesn't understand, where even though it's funny because he has the troubles he has sometimes, but he's like, I don't understand how you don't have high-speed internet everywhere in America. It's
Rob,
America.
you want to explain just where I'm at?
Yeah.
You're out to get anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. You drive an hour to get anywhere.
Yeah, you live an hour from anywhere.
Well, and yeah, if you live in a cluster at all and you live outside of town, like my parents, when they lived outside of town, that was another problem they dealt with, was they lived at the end of the line. So like they had to deal with, if everybody else was using the internet, they would get the slowest fucking internet ever.
Even
it sucked.
Even the Bronx, not even the entirety of the Bronx, and that's New York City. 8.5 million people. The Bronx isn't even wired for high-speed internet.
The reason I brought that up is I tried watching Netflix out at my folks when I was staying there for a while, and I couldn't get it to work.
Well, I can actually tell you how much it would cost to do that, because in Canada, about 8-9 years ago, their principal service provider, Bell, built a huge fiber optic network from coast to coast, and it cost them $20 million. And that's in Canadian dollars. Mm-hmm. So add another 30% plus the normal inflation, and then multiply it by 6 in order to do that, to cover north to south, east to west on the United States. And that's how much it would cost your main service provider or whatever company wants to contract out and wire you fiber optically to get internet to everyone. And it will take a minimum of 40 years to do, because your country is so big and you need so many people in order to be working on it.
Yeah, well, but it
took 10 years for Canada, and it's basically just the border states and then lines that are just going north to whatever populated area.
Well, it's a project that's worth doing, though. That's the thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing, and I keep saying that I actually had teachers at that piss poor university when we were talking. People were talking about computers and the internet. They didn't believe this. And these were people that were teachers at a university. Internet, beep beep beep, and they were making fun of it. And I said, yeah, well, hey man, this is going to be a big. Oh no, it's never going to be. The internet's not going to amount to much. I'm like, oh yeah. Let's see where you're teaching now, pal. But I mean, the whole thing, and this affects more than just Netflix and video games, and I mean, a lot of commerce has moved to the internet. I mean, a lot of business and stuff has moved to the internet.
But Rob, just look at your internet too, though. Like, just for example, how some people just don't want to upgrade to the highest tier because, well, I have internet. I don't need it for everything. I can just watch my TV, and I don't need to watch my TV on my computer.
Well, you had AT&T in my area and never upgraded the service. They just let it lapse. Mm-hmm. Then they sold it off to Frontier. And Frontier, you might as well be on the Frontier.
Right. Well, my hometown is my hometown is so rural. They have faux HD cable shit. It's so bad.
Another disillusioned Frontier customer.
Yeah, I live out in the country in Ohio, very rural area. So you're lucky to even have internet. And we have two options: Frontier or Spectrum. We had Frontier, and it was dial up. So we had to get rid of that. So we got Spectrum, which isn't much better.
Yeah, I got Spectrum now. They're not horrible, but they're not great either.
But that's where most of the country is.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, you have two choices for internet. One blows, the other sucks.
Well, dude, real quick, just
AT&T should be able to accommodate that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a quick. The AT&T, they were focusing their main, because wireless is so much more profitable. They were focusing all their efforts on wireless.
Yeah, which is just building towers, not actually creating a hard network. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really weird because where I was living before, when I ordered internet, I had 200 megabyte speed internet, and it was like stupid fast. I could upload a video in like 30 seconds. It was insane. Loved that internet. Would never want to go to anything else. Well, then we moved literally like 8 minutes away, a little further into the country, and now we have to have the satellite internet, which is point to point, and it's actually not bad. I think I went from 200 down to like 35 megabytes. So 35 is not that bad. It takes about 10, 15 minutes to upload a video, depending on.
Yeah, but you're the first person I've ever heard talk positively about the
satellite internet. Yeah, honestly, I was like, no, this is ridiculous. Like, how much is it going to cost to put a line in? I mean, I would have paid the amount of money to get this 200 megabyte speed internet because I love it, dude. I mean, like, the kids could be gaming on 2 different devices while I'm here streaming a video game online, and we'd not even have a glitch in it. But so yeah, I definitely see a difference in that. But where I'm at, yeah, the satellite internet's actually not bad, surprisingly.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Adam Wolford sends in $5. They would have to employ about 15% of the U.S. population to do the work. It would also cost somewhere between $800 million and $1 billion. Yeah, but that's nothing for somebody like AT&T to drop.
But look,
not only that, but that's why companies started doing it 10, 15 years ago in non-US
And thank you,
countries.
Adam, by the way.
But take a look at what's going on. People need jobs now. I mean,
there you go. I mean, if anything, that's what Trump should be out there, or Biden should be out there saying.
You're gonna have beautiful internet, okay? Beautiful high-speed internet.
And those bastards at AT&T are gonna pay for it.
Actually, they would. They would basically do the contract work for it.
Come on.
Yeah.
And if they don't,
Yeah,
we're gonna break up their monopoly.
Yeah, that's the other part too. They would end up having a monopoly, but it'd basically be digging a ditch, then lining down a rubber, like a
conduit,
PVC pipe plus a rubber pipe plus an iron pipe, and then funneling the fiber optic cable, which would be about as thick as about 22 inches circumference.
Microtrenching.
Some people are saying it'd be more than $1 billion, but just the same. If you got all of the tech companies together, as far as like the what's the word I'm looking for?
The major service providers. Like
the service providers or whatever. Yeah.
Just the military. Well, listen, we're getting deep into weeds here, but the military budget increase, not the budget increase was $50 billion alone. We have the money. We have the money in this country. We just don't want to spend it because we don't want to make people's lives better.
In all honesty, I don't want the government controlling our internet per se, unless they're going to give it to us for free. But in which case, they still have a control issue over it. That's the problem.
No, what would happen is the government would say, "Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to wire up the whole country for internet. We're going to take bids on the contract." And then
you take bids on the contract, and then you sell the service to the service providers, and and you keep stipulations with regards to how it.
Either way, I think the best way to do it would be if AT&T and all those guys got together and did it themselves. But
they should do it themselves.
Comcast and everybody like that. Speaking of Comcast, and something that Mecca brought up is, you can just watch stuff on TV, but something that's becoming increasingly harder is watching stuff on TV because.
Hold on a second, Tom. Just they don't want to. They don't. You know why? Did you ever hear of Google Fiber?
Yep.
Google Fiber. If you haven't, that's because the big telecoms are trying to squash it. Google started their own high-speed internet company, gigabit internet and cable television for $120 a month. They wired up No, I'm not kidding around. They wired up certain towns, and like they started in Kansas City, Kansas. They were in a bunch of different towns. And they did it. They said, we don't want to get into the ISP business. We're doing this as a shaming exercise to show the industry that you could do it cheaper and better. And you know what Comcast said? They said, nah, you really don't want that. And if you had it, you wouldn't know what to do with it. I swear to God, that's what they said.
Oh, to put that into perspective, I had the 200 megabyte and I was paying $120 a month. And you're saying a gig? Oh my God, man!
Gig.
For 120.
The gigabit speed.
Is it gigabit or gigabyte? Because those are very different.
Gigabit. Gigabit internet, and the gigabit alone was $70. I looked into it like a motherfucker because there was a group trying to bring it here, and I looked into it. I was like, oh no way, this is coming here. No way. And sure enough, it didn't. But yeah, gigabit internet. Cable television, $120 a month, And Comcast did their best to keep Google out of every city they could. They sued. They bought up the space on the poles. They lobbied for new laws saying that they can't string new cable. They did everything they could because they just want to sell the service back to you that you're already getting for more money. That's where the telecoms are now.
Damn.
Well, speaking of Comcast, and
that's what you call a segue.
Yeah, I was, and then I lost my groove there. But Mecca was saying, you can just watch everything on TV. Well, that's getting increasingly more difficult to do with a lot of the new streaming services. And apparently, according to the NBC Universal chief, Peacock is the opposite of Quibi, meaning it's a hit, as the streamer reaches a reported 22 million signups.
What's on this other than that?
That's crazy.
When you put a bunch of stuff on there for free, I mean,
well, they got 3 tiers, right? They
got different tiers. Yeah.
A likely story.
No, they have a free tier. They've got a minor ads, and then they got a subscription tier. Yeah.
So that's my question: is this 22 million count those people that are signed up for free? Because I think you got to sign up just to watch it for free.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
So regardless, they're getting eyes on there, and they're making ad revenue off of all of them. It doesn't matter.
See, look, another reason to have physical media, because if I had Parks and Rec on DVD or Blu-ray, I wouldn't have to go on and sign up for this crap.
Let me take a look at what's on Quibi here. Quibi.
Well, I wanted.
Okay. Well, in the meantime,
I'll look.
On the NBC Universal chief Jeff Shell described the company's fledgling Peacock streaming service as the opposite of Quibi.
You ain't got to read the whole thing.
In that it has a broad menu of familiar content that has generated nearly 22 million signups to date. Shell, speaking Thursday on Comcast's third quarter earnings call, said the large library of familiar shows such as 30 Rock and dramas from the Dick Wolf shop have given Peacock good traction. He said Dick.
And then he said Peacock.
Yeah, you do have to enter a password to even watch anything on it. That's how they get you.
NBC Universal did not offer any detail on Peacock viewership, other than to say that key metrics such as the number of active monthly users and engagement have exceeded their initial forecasts. That's a strong contrast to the short-form streaming service Quibi, led by Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman, which is shuttering after 6 months. Peacock is enhanced by a deep library of familiar stuff, Shell told analysts. Do they have Seinfeld? It's the opposite of Quibi. We have
Sony owns Seinfeld.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Brian Roberts, Comcast chairman, CEO, was blunt about what he sees as NBCU's advantage at a time when Disney and AT&T are spending billions to launch subscription services. Peacock is largely advertising supported, which makes it a good funnel for Comcast to bring in customers into the tent. There's a race on. We did really well in the last 90 days in that race by the strategy that has been laid out here for a lot less money and a lot less risk to our core company, he said. Shell cited Paramount Network's Yellowstone and the acquisition of Audience Network's Mr. Mercedes as non-NBCU shows. Sound like a university, NBCU, that are also performing well on the Peacock platform. He noted that Peacock has yet to rev up its original programming slate, and its biggest library acquisition, The Office, doesn't arrive on the platform until January. Most of our programming strength is coming from future quarters, he said. We're very, very, very optimistic on how the content is resonating. That's 3 varies. She also touched on NBC Universal's recent restructuring of its TV operations. I don't know where.
In the Peacock.
The Peacock.
Yeah, like Fesman says with 5 pounds. Try saying Peacock with a straight face. Yeah, I can't even say it now. And thank you, Raging Rhino, for the super sticker as well. I almost said stupor sticker. Super sticker. Blah.
The company has centralized and consolidated programming and marketing decision-making across its more than a dozen entertainment and lifestyle channels under 2 executives. Programming chief Susan Rovner, newly recruited from Warner Brothers TV, and business leader Francis Berwick. The shakeup prompted layoffs at NBCU that Shell positioned as necessary for future growth. We have an obligation as our revenue moves down to adjust our cost base, Shell said. NBCU is now less focused on network by network decisions and more focused on how to maximize the value of content across linear channels and Peacock.
All right. Is there anything more in there worth a shit?
No, yada, yada, yada. Nobody cares.
All right. Adam Walford sends in $5. Also, if go to each different markets and companies like Cox and Comcast and other to personal homes in which it would jump to 3 million to 5 or 6 billion. Okay. I think he's.
Yeah, that's with regards to the expense. However, if you only get a third of the U.S. population to buy it, you pay that off within the first year.
Right, and I think already, like a good 70% of America or so is online.
Pretty much, and if you have competitive services and decent amount of numbers, like decent amount of price for it, which the U.S. can make it always charge cheaper for it because they have far more population to draw from, you will make that money back and then some within that first year. It's just basic arithmetic.
Yeah, no Friends, no Seinfeld on Peacock.
Well, that's because Warner Brothers owns Friends. Mm-hmm. Seinfeld's owned by Sony. Mm-hmm. And again, they said they can't even have Parks and Rec or what is that the show? Yeah,
The Office, but I think they can have Parks
The
and
Office.
Rec.
Yeah, The Office
Parks
they don't
and Rec
have because
superior in my opinion.
I think Netflix has a deal
yeah,
for
Agreed.
Yeah,
Let me see if Community's on there.
Again, it's all going to be NBC. Now, if they've got every single season of SNL, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
And that has to be completely uncut.
If I had to see the Joe Piscopo Lincoln sketch.
Yeah, I want to see, especially like the first 15 years. After that, not such a big deal.
You know they're going to edit the hell out of that.
They better not.
Tom, you ignorant slut.
I love it when he talks dirty.
Mark C says, not sarcastic, per script. The FBI warning says, I don't own my physical media films. By that logic, I don't own anything physical, an IP or artistic venture due to third party being rights holder of the IP. Yes, that is correct. And we had kind of discussed that a little bit. And it's kind of a tongue in cheek kind of, technically they still own what is on the paper, the film, the video, the disc, the whatever. But you owning that is technically having a personal ownership to it to where you can do whatever the fuck you want with it in the privacy of your own home. That's what that right gives you. So if you want to sit there and cut your comic up and make a brand new comic out of it, that's your choice. If you want to sit there and recut the Star Wars trilogy into one movie, as long as you own them, that you can do. That's why like guys like Harmy and stuff that are doing the despecialized editions, they specifically specify where, you can download it legally as long as you own X amount of whatever copies of the movie to do that. So like, it's all just a matter of, you're buying a license to it technically in a way.
But
so
it
I get
also
where you're
refers
coming from.
more to the scalable aspect. It also refers more to the scalable aspect. Multiple people can watch a movie at the same time. Not multiple people can read the same physical book at the same time. So that's where they come into some differences. Trying to have 3 people read the same comic book is pretty difficult to do because people read at different speeds.
Not only that, the FBI warnings are more so about broadcasting
copying and distribution,
and copying and distribution and stuff to that effect.
This is interesting. Cheers is on the Peacock. It's also on CBS All Access. Ooh.
I thought Warner Brothers owned that.
Well, like what do you call it? Viacom owns it.
Oh, CBS does?
Yeah, they must have paid up.
Well, CBS Paramount said they weren't going to be keeping a lot of their shit exclusive. Remember that one article?
Yeah.
Because they need some money.
They can put it on Paramount Plus and other streaming platforms and still make a killing doing that.
House, that's a Fox show. Everybody Loves Raymond, that was on CBS. SNL's on this list, but I don't know to what extent.
Is it like from 75 to now, or like?
I don't know how many episodes this is. Jeff Foxworthy show, that was on ABC. Magnum PI, the original Magnum PI. Married with Children is on here on this list.
Nope. That's because it must be owned by Universal then.
Yeah, Universal must have produced it.
What were you saying, Fanzine?
No wonder they got 22 million people. They already sound like they got a better slate of shows than CBS All Access.
Yeah,
somebody else made that joke earlier. But again, I think a lot of this, how many of these are the free people signed up? Like Mecca was saying, like you can sign, you have to sign up just to watch it for free.
They're true.
But it's with ads, so they still make ad revenue like they would on network television or YouTube. So it's still a win for them.
Tom, they're
That's
getting
what I don't mind. I don't mind just watching. Just let me watch an ad like I would on TV.
Sweet
And
Tom.
with the show's already having commercial breaks, it's not going to be an inconvenience, right? So,
Tom, they're getting into adult programming. Leave It to Beaver. Oh man, I gotta watch that.
That isn't what you think it is, Rob.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not a show about a lady masturbating.
It's
no.
got one of the dirtiest
damn.
jokes ever told on TV.
Ward, you're being awfully hard on the beaver.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought it was Ward. You were awfully hard on the beaver last night.
Last night, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark, Hordes and Fanzine. Hordes has been here before. He knows what to expect.
Miami Vice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the place where Kevin Feige gets sandwiches thrown at him at a regular.
Nice.
I gotta add some other noises in there,
I
just like
thought-
Kevin Feige, just like sounding like a chipmunk or something, just going.
Maybe give him a Wilhelm.
You know,
I thought for sure. I thought for sure Andre was gonna get pissed about the Timmy thing.
Timmy.
Did you see what I did in my craft review, Rob?
Yeah, I did.
I gotta load that up to this one. I forgot about that.
Timmy.
Damn it.
Yeah, I put a running gag in my thing because there's a character named Timmy in there, and every time I just have Timmy reeled by going Timmy, I'm like not that one, and then I end up like once the character. Well, it's a really funny joke. Should I spoil it?
Yeah.
Go watch my review. There's you won't want to miss that.
Seriously, they put a guy in a wheelchair. They don't give him a name, so of course they're gonna make fun of him.
Well, you're not making fun of the fact that he's in a wheelchair. You're making fun.
No,
of
I'm making fun of the fact. I'm making fun of the fact
The
that
show.
They're dumb and they don't understand how Star Trek works.
they just have him wheeled. I'm making fun of the fact that he's wheeling through.
They're
the
using this
thing.
poor person.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese reminds us that the beaver was hairy, but it was the 50s and no one gave a damn. That's right. That's one of my favorite lines in the movie Bulletproof. You guys ever seen that with Adam Sandler and Matt Damon? He's like,
Yes.
I know when I know this porn was made in the 70s because a guy's dick has sideburns on it.
Now, did you say Matt Damon? It's Damon Wayans.
Did I say Matt Damon? I meant Damon Wayans. I did. At least I said a white guy's name and not a different black guy's name. Mark C sends in $5 again. So per copyright law, more than 3 women have spent time on my Star Wars bed sheets without paying Lucasfilm. Should I now be concerned? I think you're misinterpreting some of the copyright law as far as like private use in your home. Like basically, they can't come knocking on your door and asking you for your movie. Well, at least not yet. You never know if they change the laws. The government might do something. They might try and come in for something.
The copyright cops are coming.
Yeah.
Have you ever
like
seen
the phone
that
police
from the IT crowd? Have you ever seen that from the IT crowd?
No, I got to check that out though.
The
Like,
piracy
people have been talking
warning
about it.
commercial they have, that is hilarious. You wouldn't take a shit in the cop's hat and then return it to his grieving widow. It's ridiculous.
I heard something about this Christian Garcia. I saw like a little bit of it, but I heard that they actually seen that it's not new characters, but it's actually recast people. So I'm like, nope, I'm not going to even give it the time of day. So yeah. I don't know if I have less respect for recasting of a character if they just do one of those straight to video sequels with a very similar plot with new characters. I don't know which one's worse. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Craft too.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
Rob, but you didn't tell them about the Craft too. I made you watch it too.
This looks like trash.
Yeah. They cast a spell on this poor guy to make him woke. and he's saying about how Timmy, yeah. And he's saying about how he's all confused. He thinks he might be gay, and he does it with this really short-haired girl. I'm like, damn, you're making him even more confused. This is like, he's like, he must be like, my poor boner. I have no idea where it's coming or going.
Oh, now here's a story I dreaded getting into.
I would.
And I don't have a good segue for this. But Ray Fisher's up to it again. He actually went to the next step level. Like, he's not just alluding anymore. He's just flat out saying that motherfuckers are racist.
No,
Okay.
Tom, that's not Timmy. That guy's not Timmy.
Timmy?
That's a different guy.
Timmy.
That's a different guy.
Timmy?
Damn it.
I love Timmy. He has more personality and says more with one fucking word than every single person on Star Trek Discovery. I know when Timmy's happy. I know when Timmy's sad. I know when Timmy's running from a dinosaur. I know when
Timmy's angry. Yeah,
that is probably one of my
Timmy's in
favorite
love?
Timmy's ever. Is when they're fighting with the Star Trek. The Star Trek geeks are fighting, and they create the time machine thing. And all of a sudden, you see Timmy just going, Timmy. And a big T-Rex coming. It just shows you how the timing that Matt and Trey have is down to a T. They know exactly how to do it, and it's just like that slap that we always use. It's the same thing. Like that laugh was that slap was so perfectly timed in that movie that I literally felt that was the first time I've ever fallen out of my seat laughing. Literally fell out of my seat because I was laughing so hard. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have our own version.
I bounced myself out of my seat from laughing so fucking hard. Oh my god! Oh, the other one.
Yeah, we have our own version of the Brooke Shields slap.
Well, let's see if I got it here anymore. I got the one.
Timmy?
Timmy?
Jimmy.
See, and I'm waiting for them to say we're making fun of the wheelchair guys. Like, no, we named him after our favorite character in South Park. And we're trying to tell you guys something. When Timmy has more personality than Michael fucking Burnham.
Oh, yeah, here's our
I
snack.
just watched that episode, too. So boring. Like, why is it so boring?
But anyway, Ray Fisher.
Ray Fisher has $250,000 in the bank and was in the Justice League. He can shut it. I'm tired of him. Well, trade places with his happy ass any day.
Oh yeah, go put on this ping pong ball suit and pretend to be a superhero. Oh, you got it so rough, Ray Fisher.
Everyone gets shit. Everyone gets made fun of. Everyone gets attacked based on how they look. Everybody gets it. I'm tired of fucking hearing about it.
Justice League
everybody on the planet, every man, woman, child, pets get body shamed for being chonkers. Everybody gets some sort of physical insult pointed at their own physical person based on who they look like, what they look like, who they sleep with, who they don't sleep with. Every fucking person, shut up, stop your bitching. I am so tired of these goddamn pampered fucking celebrities who do not know how good they have it. This is a first world problem designed to pit everybody against each other for absolutely nothing as a distraction from what's really going on in society. He can shut his bitch pussy ass mouth.
I'm just so stuck that he's on the fact you said chonkers.
That was the best part, but all that was fantastic.
Yes. That was perfect.
Justice League actor Ray Fisher accuses Joss Whedon of changing actor skin tone, accuses WB execs of racism. Now he's now once he throws that card out, who's going to challenge him?
Well, it's an actor's skin tone, not necessarily his, isn't it?
Well, let's
Maybe
out.
they shouldn't make the movie so fucking dark so you can't see anything. That's the movie's fault.
Justice League actor Ray Fisher has finally provided some specifics regarding his accusations against director Joss Whedon, as well as a number of Warner Brothers executives, including Jeff Johns and John Berg. At the end of June, Fisher took to his Instagram where he shared a video of him from San Diego Comic-Con praising Joss Whedon and describing him as a great guy. However, Fisher captioned the video writing, "I'd like to take a moment to forcefully retract every bit of the statement. Aw, poor baby." Then, at the beginning of July, Fisher accused Whedon of abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable behavior on the set of Justice League. He would also claim that Whedon was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Joss Whedon on-set treatment of cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable, girlfriend. He was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Accountability greater than entertainment. I don't know if that's what Ray Fisher really sounds
Can
like.
you use any more buzzwords?
Buzzword, hipster buzzword. It's time to play buzzwords. Woo! At the end of July, Fisher would write on Twitter, "I understand full well the personal and professional risk associated with my speaking out against the abhorrent behavior of Joss Whedon and his enablers. Jeff Johnson, John Berg, I will not relent, girlfriend. This is good trouble, necessary trouble."
Can you do Stephen Walton's book, but in that voice again? Can you do that?
That's going to take him a while.
I gotta read my chapter in that for the
Like
next
I've been listening to your voice on the audiobook, and it's beautiful. But if you could do that voice, that would be great.
Where's hold on.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I mean, Ray Fisher really needs to learn to shut the fuck up because he's really making it difficult. I hate having to defend fucking Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns. I hate it.
Good call.
Fucking hate it.
Me too, man.
But I'm going to tell you right now, there's not one goddamn thing this kid has told me that just doesn't sound like he's being nothing but a prima donna on a set of a movie that's his first movie. It's a big motherfucking movie. He's the lowest on the totem pole as far as the actors go. And there's really nothing he has said that has ever remotely come up with anything other than, yeah, you guys were rushed because the studio said that they wanted the movie out by November, and Joss had come in to do this because that's what they decided to do, and they shit-canned Snyder and blah, 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 blah. Now, I get it. Snyder was probably a lot easier for you to work with. I get that. That's totally understandable. But you are acting like a little prick, and nobody is going to hire you after this. Because you are basically coming off like the biggest prima fucking donna I've ever heard in my life. Same thing with Ezra Miller and Gal Gadot, if that's true. I mean, that whole thing, I'm sorry. I fucking hate having to stick up for these fucking people like Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns. But if you're in there and you're being paid $250 million or plus, close to $1 million or over or more, what the fuck are you doing complaining? Your job is to show up and fucking act.
Boom.
You say booyah if you're told to say fucking booyah. Why? Because the fucking character has said booyah for the last 30 fucking years. That's why.
Damn.
Oh, that's my boy. See, look.
I am so tired of this shit. And I'm sick of people sticking up for him too. It's like, where in any of this is this kid actually justified in this shit? He's not fucking Ben Affleck. He doesn't have any right to sit there and go, well, I feel like my character should be, you are fucking Cyborg. You're lucky to be on screen. Shut the fuck up.
Ooh. Whoa, baby.
I think that was his thing. I think he thought he was going to be Ben Affleck when he was cast in the Justice League movie.
Oh, Tom is getting me fired up.
Same thing with Ezra Miller and the whole Gal Gadot thing. It's not like she was fucking naked. I'm sorry you're queer and you don't want to be between boobs. That's not Joss Whedon's fault.
Ask any working person. And
I mean,
if
that's
they
Joss
get
Whedon's thing, but Gal Gadot doesn't have boobs, so I don't see what the issue is.
Well, I mean, it's not his fault that he's not into boobs. Okay, anybody else would pay to do that.
I would.
If you get up and go to work in the morning and you go to work and act like this for less money, are you think you're going to have a job by the end of the day? Hell no. Like you said, Tom, shut up, get to work, earn your paycheck, man. We don't want to hear to be.
Well, and that's just it. You've got, I don't know how many dozens of people that are setting up lights, setting up sound equipment, setting up cameras, setting up green screens. They're doing all this shit, and they're sitting there waiting to roll, and you've got some kid going, I don't want to go booyah. It's like, that's your fucking line. Just say booyah. We have been setting shit up for 2.5 hours. You've been in makeup for 20 fucking minutes because all he wore was a green thing and whatever on his face. Just fucking say the line. You know, it's like, how hard is that? I don't get it. I just don't understand it. I mean, sure. Okay, I get it. Zack Snyder treated you like a little child. Good for you. You know, he's a nice guy. Maybe Joss Whedon isn't. But this guy is not going to make it with, I swear, directors like fucking Hitchcock and fucking Friedkin, Kubrick. What would these actors do if they had to deal with somebody like Coppola? Yeah. My God. They'd crack. They'd fucking crack.
Right.
You know, look at fucking what Kubrick put fucking what's her face through in The Shining.
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall. And you know what she says afterwards? Oh, thank God he made me go fucking crazy.
All right. This is for Ords. This is for Ords. Chapter 1, Gamergate. Large-scale games, a new venue for political manipulation. With some cases of direct political manipulation of an individual have been polarized by fiction such as The Manchurian Candidate, it is a manipulation of large numbers of people that can be potentially be accomplished through internet media. It's spicy.
Are you doing Charles Nelson Riley?
I don't know.
And it's like just I can see you painting this beautiful piece of art with your voice. I love it.
Enabled by the internet, political messages can be potentially be quickly distributed to the world population with little validation beyond the recipient's own social filters. Games modeling simulation present a new dynamic in the use of the internet as a source of propaganda.
No, I just got to say this though. Now, I'm not. I wish the fans would stop equating what Ray Fisher is doing with the Snyder Cut. They can be separated here. You know, you can be all for and happy for the Snyder Cut, and still think Ray's being a complete dick.
Yeah, I'm for the Snyder Cut, and I can totally see he's being a dick.
I'm like, you're a dick, and I don't want the Snyder Cut.
And it's not like he's been on like 3 TV shows. And I always compare this to Boyega. Boyega has room to bitch. And if anything, he can legitimately say, they treated me racist. Because the fucking proof is out there. It's in the pudding. They put him in 3 fucking movies. This kid was a half-ass established actor when he got in there. You know, you can tell, you know, what they were setting up for him. He's the first person we see in the fucking trailer. He was all over the fucking advertising material, and he got kicked to the back of the bus by the end of this fucking series. And he has every room to bitch. Now Ray, on the other hand, not so much, because this kid came off of fucking Broadway. He wasn't even doing fucking commercials. He got picked and plucked off of Broadway for a major motion picture, folks. That does not happen.
He has two.
He got plucked off because of his size too, not even from his performance.
He had 2 acting credits before Batman v Superman. The Astronaut Wives Club, which is a TV. He was in 1 episode of that. The Good, the Bad, and the Confused from 2008. Those 7 years apart.
And that was probably a bit part too.
Yeah, a short film.
Oh, that don't count. That's not a movie.
It's a bunch of guys in the backyard. Action!
It's literally a short film.
You said action. I'm saying cut now. It's like Eddie Murphy.
Too long.
Eddie Murphy said the first movie he was ever in was a buddy of his. They remade Enter the Dragon. They cut his mom's broomstick in half, tied it together to make nunchucks.
Oh shit! I want to see that. Oh shit! No, I mean. Again, I hate defending Joss Whedon because I think he's a complete dickhole. Jeff Johns is the reason that one of the main reasons the downfall of DC Universe happened. So I don't want to defend him at all.
Guy's got a right to be a dick, though. I mean, hey, you know, and not everybody's gonna be all sunshine and sunshine.
Well, and I hate to say this, and again, I don't want to stick up for Joss, but he's kind of been made the scapegoat in this situation. He was just brought in to do what the studio told him to do. It was basically like Richard Lester coming in to direct Superman 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think Richard Donner has ever held any, malice towards Richard Lester. I've never heard him say anything bad about him. I mean, but the Selkines, on the other hand.
Yeah.
I mean, Lester was involved with the production of the first Superman film. I think that's why he ended up getting the gig for Superman 2 when the Selkines got disappointed with.
Donner say was that he didn't want to see any of his footage from Superman 2 when he was putting together his director's cut for Superman 2.
Yeah.
So that's like the only bad thing I've ever heard him say. Other than that, I don't think he's ever had a problem with him.
Tom, didn't they film those concurrently, right? They filmed them back to back.
Yeah, they had. Yeah. They stopped filming Superman 2 midway through because they said we're running out of money and we got to finish part 1. So they basically had like 75% of part 1 done and I think 50 or 60. Basically, anything in the Daily Planet was already done. Anything with Marlon Brando was already done, and anything with what's his face who played Lex Luthor? Jesus Christ, Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, yeah.
All that was done already during the 78 shoot or 77 shoot, whenever they were shooting it.
76 over to 78, yeah.
Yeah, but then when they did Superman 2, they didn't want to pay Marlon Brando again. So they used Susanna York instead. And then for Gene Hackman, they used all his footage and then they dubbed over scenes that he's not in. So like the Martian Mr. X-Marker, that's not even him. Yeah. Like it's some other guy doing the voice.
And you can kind of tell too when you watch it.
But unfortunately, in the Donner cut, he was forced to have to use stuff that Richard Lester did shoot. But what they did for him is they used alternate takes. So there's only like, I think maybe 5% of what the original film that Lester shot that's in the Donner version, if that. And that's just because they had nothing else to cut to.
True. Yep.
Yeah, I think that was the diner stuff, right?
I believe so, yes. The diner scene, and there's like there's a couple other things that they just couldn't, like maybe a little more than 5%, but I'd say roughly that. Because otherwise it's all alternate takes or new footage, yeah.
Because the original story was supposed to be the end of Superman 2 was when he turned back.
But they're like, we already got that special effect done because the original ending of part one. The original ending of part one is he stops the one bomb, throws it into space, and then stops the other one. And
he saves California after the bomb hits, but like he.
That's it. Yeah. And Lois didn't die or whatever. I don't think in the original version. They changed that, I think.
He didn't die. He pulls her out of the car, and then there's a line exchange where Lois looks at the car and she says, "I'll flip you a coin to see who takes it back to Hertz."
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, because like, and then you see that the other missile or whatever, because just the one missile got thrown into space, just like they do in the beginning of the Donner cut. That was the way the original movie was supposed to end. So. Yeah. Mr. Wolverine 007 says, "Can I stop hiding under the bed now, Tom? That was great." Well, I'm just getting sick and tired of it, man. I would love to be in that kid's position, and I feel the same way about people who are in sports who act all fucking entitled. It's like, you get to do what kids want to do for a living every day of your life, and you get paid to fucking do it.
Show them appreciation for how good you actually have it.
That's right.
Because what these people think that they're going to fix is going to be like everything's going to get 10 times worse if they really want to get into it. But these people don't understand how good they actually have it to sit around and worry about how somebody you don't know might feel or be offended about. Like, how privileged do you have to be sitting there on your ass worrying that you're going to offend or that I'm going to offend somebody on their behalf? Mind your own damn business, Gladys. Stop looking at my window. I'll be a witch if I want. Fuck you.
I would squeeze my chunky big ol' ass into any superhero costume and do whatever they tell me to do, because that would be a dream. I just don't think they understand that.
You know, I got to remind people about witches. Glenda was a witch too. Just don't forget that.
Yep.
What about Samantha?
And Cecil's right. All that is a bitches fighting over shoes.
Oh yeah, that's true. Two women fighting over a pair of shoes.
And using Dorothy in the process. That's my favorite review ever. So in the end, all the Wizard of Oz is a couple of bitches fighting over shoes. It's true.
Well, it's written by a man. So.
Sounds like Cecil, right?
Leave it to Cecil.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, we got a little bit of time maybe here. What else did you send us here, Mecca? What do we got? We got the Disney Plus UK thing. We got everybody knows Netflix prices going up. Now, the Tiny Toons thing broke a couple days ago.
Again.
But I don't think we watched it on or talked about it on here.
What did you?
I've been meaning to do that video.
Update of it about. What's
going on. I see what you got here. Yeah,
because that's my next video I just did about.
Elmira is evidently not part of the Tiny Toons reboot.
Of course not.
Mind explaining? I would think if anything, Maximilian wouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sure he's not
Elmira
either.
abuses animals though.
But that's the joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she is such an SJW.
And isn't
Karen-
Monty the rich white asshole?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
Well, Maximilian and Amira were basically like two sides of. Well,
Right.
you do realize what the Tiny Toons were, right? Obviously, the obvious ones are Babs and Buster are Bugs' counterparts, Plucky's Daffy's counterpart, and so on and so forth. Elmira and Maximilian were supposed to be Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam's counterparts, and then you got Tasmanian Devil's counter. You know how it just that's all it is. It's just baby versions of them, kind of, or a young version of them, kind of thing. It worked though. I actually liked Tiny Toons quite a bit, especially Baby Plucky. Baby Plucky is fucking hilarious.
I love the movie they did too, man, and that's a hard one to find.
Which one?
The Tiny Toons movie.
Oh, the original pilot, How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Yeah,
yeah, that's a hard
because
one.
they showed
to
that
find.
as like a movie on Fox when I was a kid. I remember. Yeah, well, not quite a kid. I was almost a teenager by that point. But yeah.
Rob, you gonna read the story?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Why is Elmira not going to be part of this now?
Because they hate her. Hold on.
Because she's a Karen.
She's a total Karen. Elmira is not part of the Looney Tunes reboot. Popular Tiny Toons adventure character Elmira Duff won't appear in the Tiny Toons Looniversity reboot, which will air on HBO Max and Cartoon Network. The voice actor behind the animated character Elmira Duff recently confirmed that the popular Tiny Toon Adventures character won't appear in the planned reboot, which will air on HBO Max and Cartoon Network. They just said that. Actor Chris Summer, who voiced the character during the original series run.
That's a lot of filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's really not more than just your tweet, basically.
Yeah.
But,
Confirmed the news on Twitter, writing, I just got word that Elmira will not be included in the Tiny Toons reboot. Tiny Toon Adventures was created by yada, nobody cares. The original animated series introduced Elmira Duff. Was a young redheaded girl, loosely based on her mentor Elmer Fudd. Similar to how Fudd terrorized Bugs, Elmira was known for torturing her own pets in the Tiny Toons universe. Elmira's menagerie of victims included Byron Bassett, Lil Sneezer, Buster, Furball, Fifi LaFume, and Tyrone the Turtle. Another Elmira plot point found her chasing her unrequited crush, Montana Max. While Max pushed her away throughout the series, Elmira continued to pursue her Monty Wanty with great fervor. Recently announced Tiny Toons University. They really didn't say why. Why should
Well, that's bullshit. Then that's kind of a non-story.
Well, it's CBR. They're known for non-stories.
Joe Pat 87 sends in $4.99. I'm a little mixed on the original show, but I think these are great characters. This Tiny Toons reboot is a pleasant surprise overall. Well, it was until we find this out. But what is wrong with that?
well, see, my video, I didn't even go to this article. I found after when I was doing my thumbnail. So it's basically the voice actress, Cree Summer, actually is really upset by this. And she's the one who broke this. So for whatever reason, they're not even bothering to say anything. And you've got a whole bunch of like different people involved with it. Then this is also going to be on HBO Max and Cartoon Network. So you're going to have like some Adventure Time people coming in from to show run this thing. So I don't know if this one's going to be nearly as true to the whole franchise as Animaniacs is going to be.
Well, even if you're doing it because of the whole animal abuse thing, that's the joke, is that it's wrong. Yeah. That's the joke. Do these guys not get a joke?
No.
I'm wondering if just because people don't like the character that much. I mean, I didn't mind. I like Elmira.
Well, and somebody said she's good in doses, but Alpha J said, like, that's the whole point. I mean, she's like Elmer Fudd, but she's just, instead of wanting to kill everything, she wants to love it and squeeze it and give it a name. You know?
I mean, I liked her on Tiny Toons, but I do think she ruined Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah, the Pinky and the Myra and the Brain stuff was just, I think it could have run its course.
Yeah.
By the time they brought her in, so.
Well, she is the least favorite of the Tiny Toon characters.
Well, here's another one though where they're erasing the gingers.
Yeah, another redhead.
Well, she was voice acted by Cree Summer, who is not white.
There you go. That's why. That's the answer right there. That's why. That is why. And you know what? Fine then, if they wanted to go both fucking ways, but I think that's stupid as shit. That's the dumbest fucking thing ever. I hate this shit. I'm going to go off like Ray again here if somebody don't stop me.
Hey,
No,
have
go ahead.
have you ever seen the documentary I Know That Voice?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Where
That
they
Star
talk
Wars
about-
girl, thank you. Welcome. How you doing? Been a while, Anna.
Yo, what up, Anna?
Hey, Anna.
But yeah, that documentary is great. Anyway, you were saying.
It's a great documentary where the guy that plays Bender's voice talks about how he can play a black character, and he did the whole show with him and of the black people that play voices too, and they just sit around and they talk like that, and they never had any complaints about it because it was like something that was okay. It was accepted then. Now it doesn't seem to be so accepted anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like what's his name? Cummings. His first name escapes me. Guy who does Winnie the Pooh and every other voice.
Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings. Yeah, I mean he does all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. I mean he's like the modern day fucking equivalent of like Mel Blanc because I mean he can do just about anything. I mean, I just don't get it.
Well, we went from a time when it was a way to kind of appreciate and celebrate other cultures was to kind of incorporate them and appreciate them and try and imitate them so you kind of could stretch your acting abilities, right? To, oh, you can't do that. You can't say that. You might offend somebody. And I guess, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that because you can't even say anything because you don't want to say the wrong thing or else they'll cancel you.
Well, and see, to this point, I've only known black actresses who decided not to continue doing the voice, like that one actress. This is kind of news
Christian
to me.
Bell.
Yeah.
Christian Bell, who's white, who was playing a mixed character on.
No. There was a black actress who said she wasn't going to do the character anymore, and I can't remember who it was.
Oh.
But she did a couple white voices for years. Who's the one who did Penny on Inspector Gadget? Because she was black too, wasn't she?
Oh no,
Cree Summer originally.
Was that Cree Summer? That's what I thought. Okay. Well,
and she also was. Was it? No.
Well, see, now I thought she was the one who said she wasn't going to do the one voice anymore unless this is her choice. Then why is she pissed? Oh.
No, this isn't the voice that she stepped down from.
Okay, who was that then? Because we talked about that, and it's escaping me now who it was. But anyway, I don't know if you've done your video yet, but I would look into that too. Because okay, I was going to say. Okay, I'm mixing the two up.
I don't want to go the racial route on this one because we don't know if that's part of it.
Well, no, but that makes sense. If that's the case, that's what they've been fucking doing lately.
Yeah, by desegregating and
Or segregating, actually.
Yeah, actually by segregating these, So if that's the case where they just decided that she wasn't white enough to play, then that's just bullshit because that's anti-civil rights movement. That's anti-equality. That is pretty much anti the entire movement.
Well, she goes against their narrative, you know.
Yeah, because I thought you were trying to get more, voice actors of color into roles. There is no reason to remove any of these actors.
Well, and Phil Lamar was like, "Just keep me out of your politics" or some shit when somebody asked him.
He's like, keep my name out of your mouth. Which is
strange because he's very political.
Yeah, he wasn't keeping it out of the politics. He's like, keep my name out of your mouth.
I apologize. I was wrong.
Anything he said, and was gonna just because
he was the go-to of black actors voicing non-black characters.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh shit! If people bring me into this, I'm gonna be out of a lot of work."
Well, most people forget one of the most famous besides Darth Vader. Tonight I dine on turtle soup. That was Uncle Phil.
Avery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Phil.
Shredder.
Was it Phil? Didn't Phil Lamar voice Samurai Jack?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Phil Lamar's done a lot of white characters. That's what is. I find this is so stupid.
He also I think he also did Kratos for God of War.
No, that's Chris Judge from Stargate.
I'm willing to bet Michael Winslow's done a bunch of white voices too in the past.
But that's
he never said that was a problem. We always wanted and appreciated talented voice actors regardless of
as long as as long as it's good, written well, as long as it's convincing, who the hell cares?
I'm gonna tell you this right
Exactly.
now. Yeah,
What
like I am not a fan of a lot of the new voice actors they got for the Looney Tunes, but if some black guy come in and he could do Bugs Bunny like spot on like Mel Blanc, I'd be like, hire that fucking guy right now. You know, like that doesn't matter to me what color they're. Even if it was a chick, even if a girl could come in and actually do like, you know, yeah, come on, what's up, doc? And it sounds just like Mel Blanc, I'd be like, hire him. You know, like, because I don't like a lot of the new voice actors. They don't sound like Mel Blanc. It bothers me.
Well, yeah, you're not hiring their body, you're hiring their voice. So that's what you judge them on. It's kind of strange when you have reality TV shows like The Voice and The Masked Singer, which is all about the merit, and yet in the actual industry, they kind of go opposite that.
First episode of Samurai Jack, when he returns home, he's off training. He returns home, he sees his father's all disheveled. What has happened to our land, father? I'm like, up there it is, right there. I'm sold. It's just like I didn't care. It was just like it was just such a moment that you did.
Well, and I brought up,
all thoughts of who was doing the voice went right out the window.
I brought up that it didn't click for me for many years that it was James Earl Jones's Vader. It just didn't. It never really clicked for me until just at one point. I think somebody had said something about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're right. It is James Earl Jones.
And that's how you start. That's how you kind of.
I remember when people thought it was Lauren Green for a little bit.
Sorry, I was talking over. Sorry.
I thought it was Orson Welles, actually.
Well, that's who George Lucas originally wanted, but I didn't hear what either script nor Mecha said. So,
well, when I was a kid, we saw Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica at the same time, so a lot of us thought it was Lauren Green that was Darth Vader because they have the same baritone. But no, it was James Earl Jones. Remember that from The Sandlot when you first hear him, and you're like, "Oh, that's Vader."
Rebecca, what'd you say?
Oh, I was saying that's kind of how you get over a lot of the isms and stuff is by you stop noticing the differences, and you start treating everybody equal, and that's kind of the opposite of what people are doing now. But then again, people did kill all the rats during the time of the plague, or the cats instead of the rats. But,
cats instead of the rats, yeah. Matt G sends in $2 to remind me of something I can't do because it's not happening anywhere near me. I looked. Some theaters are showing the TMNT 90 30th anniversary. Yeah, they are. Not near me.
I was about to say those script. James Earl Jones has got. Oh, that's a great voice, man. That guy's been.
It is.
I just hope for one thing, if with this anniversary release, that means they actually did a 4K print. That would be glorious because it needs to be remastered so fucking bad. It is one of the worst prints out there for Blu-rays. It's like it's barely HD.
The guy who played Cobra Commander died. The voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did he do that?
I don't know, but but that's actually, he had a good voice in that first miniseries, but afterwards he just sounded more and more like Starscream. One minute voice actor. I forgot his name. I read his name the other day. Yeah, Cobra. Christopher Collins. Yeah, he died in 94. Oh, that
was quite a while ago.
Oh. I'm just hearing that. I'm slow to the party.
You're starting to sound like an old guy, Rob.
He's an old guy. He just got a phone that wasn't.
Are you still awake, Words?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm good.
I was like, "Whoa, my phone's got a clock in it."
Then he tried to fold
it. Got a calculator.
Then we made him realize, you can get on the internet with it too and take pictures and all that.
No way! There's a great picture. It's a meme. This guy's holding a bunch of stuff. He's got like a video camera. He's got like CDs and he's got all kinds of stuff. Calculator and it says all this stuff now fits in your pocket.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But all right, kiddies, I think we've drugged this out long enough. Fanzine, check out his channel. Check out Ord's Boards as well. I'll try and get those links up here for you. Unless there's some mods in the chat who want to help me with that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I was just reading the chat, and somebody said Rugrats all grown up was awesome. No, it's not.
No. that was shit and a half.
Those were some horribly neglectful parents, let me tell you.
Oh, God, man. I wish I had those parents. I could have got away with more.
Logically, you're like, that should work. Because, like, all these baby shows, when they rarely work, well, let's just reverse the concept. We'll make them adults instead of the adults being babies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no.
Well, Standard, don't tell him that. He's living in the 1960s still.
Yeah, don't tell him that. He'll start to cry and we'll be fucked for the rest of the show.
Timmy!
Speaking of Timmy, I love the fight with him from They Live. That was awesome.
Oh my
I absolutely loved that. I laughed my ass off.
It's one of the best episodes, yeah.
Attention shoppers, we have Cripple Fight outside.
It's funny because they say that that's their favorite episode, but they say that at the beginning of every episode. If you watch the commentary,
I couldn't. I was like, my mouth was open. I could not believe that I was laughing so hard, but you almost feel bad for laughing. But then you realize how funny it is. Cripple Fight!
Oh God!
But I think this one they said like this is really, really our favorite episode. I know we say that every time, but
oh God!
And they bring up the whole like They Live, shot for shot.
Yeah.
They're daring Comedy Central to cancel them now, aren't they? They have been for a while.
Jason Voorhees Lives says the original versions of The Evil Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween are all playing at your... Wow, that would be a cool triple feature. I saw Ghostbusters and Halloween are playing at the drive-in. I'm like, cool! And then I'm like, wait, what if it's the remakes? It could be Ghostbusters 2016 and Halloween 2018.
Oh. God, no.
Good God, I don't want that.
Cavatino.
And if it's not, I got the other ones on 4K anyway, so it don't matter.
Cavatino Shea actually brings up a good point. Do not want to see grown-up Peanuts because Snoopy would be dead.
Yeah, and Woodstock would be like really mournful.
Which one would be like the heroin addict?
Are you kidding? The Woodstocks would fucking eat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then be sad afterward.
That would be like the horror that Charlie Brown would come home to, is Snoopy half eaten by the fucking Woodstocks.
Wow.
That's where he would get onto heroin. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. See?
You're writing this shit now, huh? Can we do the movie of that and then Charlie Brown be played by Macaulay Culkin and Linus be played by Edward Furlong? And you get all the kids played by like famous kid actors growing up. That'd be fucking amazing balls.
That'd be awesome.
It's called Rehab, Charlie Brown. That's what we can title it.
Fuck you! I'm not going to rehab. You guys are not my friends. You've never been my friends. I miss Snoopy.
Drugs because you kept taking that football away, Lucy.
Then now she is his actual shrink.
Who would Lucy be, like Ellen DeGeneres? Who would Lucy be?
No, Alyssa Milano.
Oh no, not Lucy. I'm thinking Peppermint Patty.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Peppermint Patty is now,
Oh, she's full-on lesbian.
Full-blown lesbian.
Full-blown lesbian. And Linus is gay, of course.
Of course.
Well, they're gonna have to gender swap.
We're hitting all the diversity check
and race
boxes.
swap.
See, it works. It works.
No, they're gonna race swap Linus.
Franklin would be Chris Rock, I guess, or Kevin Hart.
I was gonna say the token black kid, he'd be the only one who gets out of the town.
Didn't they do that weird creepy CGI remake recently with that really ugly weird?
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. Oh, I hated that movie. That movie was like a greatest hits. It sucked. Are you talking about the Peanuts movie from a few years back?
Yeah, where they had like just the really creepy CGI Charlie Brown.
Yeah, it was dumb. It was really dumb. I thought it was actually going to be something cool because they kind of set it up at first like, oh, this is going to be kind of like a sequel to all the things we've seen before, and he's actually probably going to get to, move along the story with the little redhead girl and all these other things and, cute little callbacks to all the specials. Oh, no, it was like a bunch of greatest hits crap. It was like a lot of the same shit just crammed into a 2-hour movie that we've seen in all the specials.
Who would play Pigpen?
Dax Shepard.
And he's still dirty to this day.
Amen.
And if he won't do it, what's his face from Iron Man 2? Sam Rockwell. Rockwell.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Actually, Sam Rockwell would probably be better.
Yeah. I agree.
He's a coke.
He was in Ninja Turtles too. So.
Yeah, he was. Regular or menthol?
Yep.
Over at Lairdman Island.
Oh shit, that's him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
him.
Mind blown.
Yeah. Yep. Totally was. All right, kids. I think that's enough. Check out all these people on their fine channels like Mecca and Fanzine and Ords Boards and Script Doctor, and Rob's Guided channel too. And you never know what you can find on Mead Radio, so be sure to subscribe there as well. Other than that, later on I'll be on Comics Division. Are you going live at all, Mecca, or what do you got
I
planned?
don't know. I got my video dropping soon. Maybe I'll do a game stream at some time. I don't know yet. But I got a video dropping in a few. So.
All right. Well, and you never know where I may pop up. I don't know where any of these guys got. You guys got anything going on here tonight besides? I know Script. I might see you later on Comics if you're awake long enough.
Doing a game stream
maybe,
later.
Yeah. I'm actually heading out to visit family for the rest of the evening. But if I come back and I'm still wired, I'll definitely join.
That's not social distancing. Anyway, are you staying 6 feet apart?
Sure, why not?
What'd you say, Mecca? I can't hear you.
Nobody's doing it anymore. Nobody cares about social distancing.
Yeah, I know. And Orange, you said you're doing a game stream?
Yeah, yep, later. And I've got a Halloween short special coming out, 2-parter on 2 different channels. Crossover event this weekend. So
I actually made a video speaking on the first topic here about physical media and Amazon, where I just took like 2 stacks of my Blu-rays and just held them up to the camera. So I'm thinking about maybe dropping that tonight or tomorrow. I haven't decided.
You say what? I dare you to take them away from me?
Yeah, I was just like, and how about this? They can't take this away from me.
You're like, come get a motherfucker, and then right over top, you pop over.
Basically, like, pull out the Glock and be like,
stepping out on the porch. Get off my lawn.
Dude, I sounded a bit like a cranky old man holding up, like, you can't take this. I got this on this, and ha. So,
there you go.
I don't know if I'll release it tonight or tomorrow. I'm debating.
Well, that's where I said, speaking of Charlie Brown, I don't care if they're on Apple. I got the 4K Blu-rays of the holiday special. So
I have the VHS, so
there you go. Casperius sends in $5. Says Peppermint Patty would be played by Carrot. She's way too beefy. He's way too beefy now, though. Have you seen him lately? Oh my God, he looks like.
He went a little nuts on the.
Did he stop working out?
The protein there.
Or is he like too big now?
I'd say steroids.
Oh, whoa, roids, damn.
He's got like really little legs and huge upper arms.
He is totally fucking roided out. Like motherfucker didn't stop to think that people don't laugh at big strong people because they're afraid they're going to get their ass kicked.
Well, that's why he did it, because people weren't laughing at him.
Well, I actually know somebody who slept with him. They said he's a very lazy lover.
No, look, guys, we're all laughing at him. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, he is the chairman of the board. Do not forget that. I want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. As always, it's been a wonderful, wonderful show. I'm going to give us a maximum effort puppy.
Yay.
I think we earned
Get
it.
it, puppy dog. Get it.
Journey.
Until next time.
Turn.
Stay safe.
Just when you think this show is terrible, something wonderful happened.